Hi, and thank you for joining ahead for our Foreclosure and New Hampshire Homeowners Assistance Fund Program workshop. My name is Samantha, and I'm going to be discussing the program with you today. First, let me talk a little bit about AHEAD. AHEAD is actually an acronym. It stands for Affordable Housing, Education, and Development. The AH part of AHEAD represents our over 500 units of affordable housing we have scattered all over the North Country. We offer apartments for persons with disabilities, senior citizens, and working families. The E part of AHEAD represents our education and counseling programs. AHEAD offers a wide variety of education and counseling services from pre-purchase, foreclosure prevention, budgeting, credit, just about anything you can imagine. A full schedule of our workshops can be found on our website at homesahead.org. The D part of AHEAD represents our development department. We are always looking to develop new affordable housing apartments throughout Northern New Hampshire. Check out our website and follow us on social media for all of our latest development projects. What is AHEAD? AHEAD is an affordable housing organization that provides HUD housing counseling to individuals and families throughout the state of New Hampshire. What we are not a bank. We are not a lender. We are not a realtor. We do not work for the state or for the federal government. We are a private nonprofit organization whose mission is to help families maintain safe, affordable housing. What is the Homeowners Assistance Fund program? The New Hampshire Homeowners Assistance Fund is a federally funded homeowner assistance program through the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 and the Governor's Office for Emergency Relief and Recovery, also known as GOFR. In New Hampshire, this program is administered by New Hampshire Housing. Who and how does the program help? The Homeowners Assistance Fund provides assistance to eligible homeowners who have experienced a financial hardship during the COVID pandemic. The Homeowners Assistance Fund provides financial assistance to eligible New Hampshire homeowners who have outstanding mortgage, utilities, association fees, and/or property tax payments. To plainly put it, if you have experienced a loss of income due to COVID or an increase of expenses due to COVID, you may be eligible for this program. Who is involved in this program? You'll see from this slide, New Hampshire Housing at the top. They are the agency who has been tasked to run this program for the state of New Hampshire. They have contracted with Spiridian Technologies, LLC and Tidal Basin to administer the program, provide the application portal, and assist with case management. AHEAD, where I work, we're the HUD Housing Counseling Agency assisting homeowners with this program. If you need assistance with applying, working with your loan servicer, that's where AHEAD can help. Your bank servicer is also going to be involved in this program as an important player in the program. And 603 Legal may be involved if your situation has a legal aspect to it, or if you have an imminent foreclosure date coming up in the next 30 to 45 days. What are some of the criteria? Eligible homeowners must have experienced a COVID-related reduction in income or increase in household expenses after January 21st, 2020, or have that increase in expenses or decrease in income begin before and continued on after January 21st, 2020. You must own and occupy the property as your primary residence, and you must have incomes of less than 125% of area median income. If you go to homehelpnh.org, you can actually look up the income criteria for this program. It varies from city to city, and it is dependent on household size. Please keep in mind, these are just some of the requirements of the program. Each case and situation is different and unique, and additional information and/or documentation may be required throughout this process. I am not behind now. Can I qualify for the HAF program? Well, New Hampshire Homeowners Assistance Funds provides financial assistance for past due bills only. No forward assistance is currently available. In simple terms, if you do not have a past due bill, you are currently not eligible. Should you fall behind on payments later on or in the future, you may be eligible then. What does the program money cover? The Homeowners Assistance Fund covers mortgage loan reinstatement with a maximum benefit of up to $20,000, property charges, aka property taxes default resolution with a maximum benefit up to $20,000, and utility internet payment assistance with a maximum benefit of $3,000. please keep in mind the total cap for the entire program per household is $20,000. So if you use $3,000 for internet or utility payment assistance, you would then have $17,000 left over to use towards mortgage assistance or property charge assistance. What is AHEAD's role and what does AHEAD help you with? AHEAD is a housing counseling agency. We provide housing counseling. We can assist you in applying for loss mitigation options with your servicer. We can assist you with filling out the application. We help you create a crisis budget, and we may be able to identify other resources that are available to you. You are not obligated to use AHEAD. AHEAD is just here as a resource and a tool to help you through this process. Working with us is not required. In fact, you can actually apply for the New Hampshire Homeowners Assistance Fund program on your own at www.homehelpnh.org. However, if you are applying for mortgage assistance, you will also need to complete the loss mitigation process with your servicer. You can do loss mitigation on your own. However, if you need assistance, AHEAD can help you. How do I work with AHEAD? Step one is to become a client of AHEAD by completing our intake packet. We can mail you a packet through the U.S. mail service, we can fax you one, or we can send you in one via email or via DocuSign electronically. Until we have a completed packet from you, unfortunately, we can't help. So completing the intake packet is the first step to work with us. The Homeowners Assistance Fund program told me to contact AHEAD for a letter. What is that? This is a common question we get quite often. What happens is if you apply for the Homeowners Assistance Fund program on your own, which is totally acceptable and allowed, you'll get to a point in the process if you're looking for mortgage assistance that they require documentation proving you've applied for loss mitigation with your loan servicer. Sometimes this seems confusing and lots of times homeowners don't understand what this process is. They are literally looking for a letter from your loan servicer saying, yes, we've offered you loss mitigation, or no, we've denied you loss mitigation. If you're applying for assistance with past due mortgage payments, completing the loss mitigation process is required and there's no way around it. Loss mitigation is a borrower's request to their loan servicer for mortgage assistance and includes information required for evaluation of that request. What is loss mitigation exactly? Loss mitigation is where you are formally requesting your mortgage lender or servicer to give you an alternative option to paying your current mortgage delinquency. This request could be a variety of things. How does the loss mitigation process work? Step one, if you're doing this on your own, is to contact your loan servicer and request loss mitigation options. Your loan servicer may require you to submit a formal loss mitigation loan modification application to them. It varies from servicer to servicer, but quite often this is a required step of most lenders. Step three, the servicer will review your request and present options if there are any available to you. Step four, you as the borrower has an opportunity to review the loss mitigation options offered to you and either accept or reject the offer. However, keep in mind, just because you reject their offer doesn't mean you automatically are approved for the Homeowners Assistance Fund program. If the offer is unaffordable within your current budget and is beyond 33% of your affordable monthly income, then the offer may be unaffordable and you could reasonably reject it. However, it's not just something you get to choose and decide and say, I don't want to accept this offer. Step five, you're going to provide documentation of loss mitigation offer to the Homeowners Assistance Fund program by uploading that documentation through your application portal. What is the timeline for loss mitigation? When an application is received, the servicer must promptly review for completeness and notify the borrower within 5 business days if additional documentation is required or if the application is incomplete. This happens quite often. They'll need additional pay stubs or new bank statements, and it can be quite a bit of back and forth. So be prepared to have all those documents ready and necessary if they need them uploaded. The borrower must be given a reasonable time amount to return those documents to the servicer if they're requested. Once the complete application is received by the servicer, if within 45 days of foreclosure sale, that sale will be postponed. The borrowers must then be notified that the application is complete, and the servicer then has 30 days from the completed application to evaluate it and determine if there are available options and inform the borrower in writing of what those options may be. What is proof of loss mitigation and exceptions to the rule for this requirement of the Homeowners Assistance Fund program? Quite typically, it's an actual letter or documentation you see from your loan servicer. You can provide that loan scanned copy of it, and it is required that it's dated within the last 6 months or within 1 month of cessation of a forbearance. All New Hampshire Homeowners Assistance Fund applicants will be provided a referral to housing counseling, so a housing counselor's attestation of completed loss mitigation or good faith unsuccessful effort will be accepted. That means if you're trying to work with your loan servicer and you're not able to actually connect with them, or you're having difficulty navigate that process, a head can step in and we can help you with that. If it gets to the point where we've been working with them for weeks and weeks on end and we're not getting any kind of response, then we can write a letter on your behalf to the Homeowners Assistance Fund and upload it to your application portal. What are some typical loss mitigation options? The lender could offer you a wide variety of things, and it varies from lender to lender and from loan to loan. Re-amortizing your loan is one option. This is where your lender or servicer could re-amortize your loan, meaning they take all the past due payments and add them to the back end of the loan. This means you will be making mortgage payments for a longer period than you originally planned when you took out the loan. A modification means the lender changes the original terms of your loan. This could include lowering your interest rate to make your mortgage more affordable. But keep in mind, interest rates have recently increased, so that means it may be more difficult for a lender to reduce your rate. How do you apply for loss mitigation? Unfortunately, every mortgage lender and servicer has a different process for applying. You could try looking online through your bank's website by Googling loss mitigation or foreclosure prevention in their search toolbar. You could also contact your loan servicer to apply for loan modification. If you're unable to do so on your own and you want to apply for a loan modification, a head can help you with that process. I filled out a head's intake. What other documents do you need? When you get an intake packet from a head, you're going to see this cover sheet here, which lists quite honestly a very lengthy list of documents that we require in order to work with you. We will check off the ones that we absolutely need, and if they're crossed off, that means we no longer need those documents from you. Some documents that will absolutely be needed, we're going to need a copy of your most recent tax return, signed and dated. We're going to need a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, as well as any other correspondence you've received from your mortgage company. And we're also going to need identification, like Social Security and form of ID. Make sure your supporting documents are clear and legible. You want to make sure you're taking very clear scans of them when you're sending them to us or uploading them to the application portal. If they're blurry and cannot be read, they will be rejected and it will delay your application. Your tax return must be signed. So even if you file your tax return electronically, like through TurboTax or one of the other e-filing systems, you may not have to actually physically put a pen to paper and sign it. However, you will be required with this program to print off a copy of your tax return, at least the first 2 pages, and sign that second page where it says sign here, and then scan and send that up to upload it into your application portal. If you don't know how to scan, if you have a smartphone, you typically can download a free scanner app. Adobe has one, HP has one. There's quite a few that are available out there. You just want to make sure when you download one that you are comfortable with it and you understand how it works, and you want to make sure you're taking very clear photos. How do I know who owns my mortgage? So you might have a government-backed mortgage and you may not be aware. There's government-backed mortgages through FHA, USDA, VA. You also might hear the terms Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. They also offer online tools to help you look up to see if your mortgage is a Fannie Mae or Freddie tool or Freddie Mac. If you Google look up my mortgage online tool, you'll actually find where you can actually search to find out what type of mortgage you have. I've applied for HAF, now what? The HAF program, not ahead, will then verify the application information, the amounts you owed and the amounts you were requesting. The HAF program contacts the mortgage company, the utility company, your HOA or municipality to determine if they will accept the HAF funds. Mortgage companies and towns and utility companies are not required to accept funds. If the mortgage company, utility company, HOA, or municipality will accept the funds, the HAF program will then confirm the amount to pay and how payment will be sent. The payment is sent directly to the mortgage company, utility company, HOA, or municipality. Applicants will not receive any checks paid to them directly. How long will this process take? Every application is different. On average, most applications take 6 to 8 weeks to process. Loss mitigation adds a significant amount of time to this process. So we recommend if you're applying for mortgage assistance, as soon as you start your homeowners assistance application, start the loss mitigation process if you have not yet started it. You will need to have this started as soon as possible in order to expedite your application. Once you've applied for the Homeowners Assistance Fund, if you're looking for updates about your application and things you may need to upload or status inquiries, you can contact the New Hampshire Homeowners Assistance Fund call center directly at 1-833-833-3133. If you happen to have a foreclosure date within the next 30 days, we recommend you contact 603 Legal immediately. They can be reached at 1-800-639-5290 or 603legalaid.org. For more information on mortgage rules and regulations, you can contact the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau at consumerfinance.gov or by calling 1-855-411-2372. For questions about fair housing or complaints, you feel free to contact the Housing Urban Development at hud.gov or call them at 1-800-669-9777. If you have questions about a HUD or would like to speak to one of our housing counselors, you can contact us by email at hoc@homesahead.org or by calling us at 603-444-1377 extension 1014. Thank you for joining us today, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.